Welcome to a new deep dive.
Hello.
Today we're looking at, well, a really small but I think incredibly rich bit of ancient text. Genesis chapter 5, verses 20 through 25.
That's right.
And the material we're diving into, it feels almost like a minute-by-minute account sometimes. And it reveals some genuinely surprising things.
Yeah, it does. And our goal today really is to pull out the most important bits from just these few verses, specifically how one figure, Enoch, stands out so dramatically from this very, very consistent pattern we see. It's short, like you said, but you'll see it's just packed with meaning, and it offers a really powerful counterpoint to what we might expect.
Okay, sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Let's unpack this piece of ancient history then and see what makes it tick. So we should probably start with the pattern itself. We begin with Jared, Genesis 5:20.
Right.
The text tells us, altogether, Jared lived a total of 962 years, and then he died. Just think about that lifespan, 962 years.
Incredible. Nearly a millennium. It's actually the second longest lifespan in this whole chapter.
Wow. But what really grabs you, or grabbed me anyway, is that final phrase, isn't it?
Absolutely. That concluding phrase, and then he died. That's the crucial thing here. It becomes this recurring refrain through the whole genealogy.
Like a drum beat.
Yeah, exactly. No matter how long they lived, and these are huge numbers, the pattern is always life, longevity, and then death. It just sets this really clear expectation for anyone reading it, a very stark, rhythmic tone.
Okay, so that's the established rhythm.
Huh.
Long life, then death. But then, like you said, the narrative takes this really intriguing turn with Enoch, Genesis 5:21. It shifts focus right away. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. Okay, standard enough so far.
Right.
But verse 22, that's where Enoch's story just goes off script. What makes his account so different?
Well, it's the specific detail that follows right after mentioning Methuselah. It says, after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters.
Walked faithfully with God.
Yeah. That phrase, it's a major standout because it's the very first time in this entire list, this genealogy, that someone's personal relationship with God is highlighted like that so explicitly. It makes you stop and think, okay, what does it actually mean for someone's relationship with the divine to be singled out here, in such a concise record?
And that phrase, walked faithfully with God, it feels like more than just, I don't know, believing something, doesn't it? What does that walk imply?
Yeah.
Especially back then.
That's a really good question, because in that ancient context, walking with God wasn't like a casual thing. It wasn't passive belief. It implied this profound alignment, a life lived in constant companionship and obedience, almost like God was right there every step.
Wow.
So it suggests a deeply active, intentional relationship, not just thinking about God sometimes, but a life lived in intimate partnership.
Okay, so that's a huge difference already.
A huge difference.
And then verse 3 adds another layer. It says, altogether, Enoch lived a total of 365 years, which, compared to Jared's 962, is, it's significantly shorter. Is there significance in that number, 365?
Yeah.
Given the contrast?
Many scholars think so, yeah. There's definitely symbolism people see there. I mean, 365 obviously aligns with the number of days in a solar year.
Okay.
And some read that as suggesting a kind of completeness, a life that was full, measured, maybe even perfectly aligned with a natural divine order, even if it wasn't long in years compared to everyone else around him. It's like his life, though brief, was perfectly whole or rounded.
Interesting. A complete year, a complete life.
Perhaps.
But the really radical departure, the thing that just shatters the pattern we talked about, that's verse 24.
Oh, absolutely.
It says, Enoch walked faithfully with God, then he was no more because God took him away.
He was no more because God took him away.
Unlike Jared, unlike all the others, it explicitly says he didn't die. How do we even process that break from the norm?
It's monumental, really. It's the ultimate disruption of that rhythm, that "and then he died" refrain we heard over and over. And if you connect it outwards, to the bigger picture, the New Testament actually reinforces it. Hebrews 11:5.
Okay.
It says, by faith, Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death.
So it confirms he didn't die.
It confirms it. So Enoch's story becomes this incredibly powerful symbol. It speaks of, hope beyond just the normal human end. It points to this profound intimacy with God, a life of such deep faith that it actually transcends that typical mortal boundary. It's extraordinary.
So, okay, after this incredible anomaly with Enoch, the narrative just snaps back. It returns to the pattern with Methuselah in verse 25.
Pretty much, yeah. Verse 25. When Methuselah had lived 187 years, he became the father of Lamech. And Methuselah himself, of course, is famous for living 969 years.
The oldest man in the Bible, right?
The oldest one mentioned, yeah. So it's striking, isn't it? Enoch's whole story, his different ending, it just sits there like this interruption, this sudden spark of something else hope, maybe? A different possibility embedded right in the middle of this list of immense lifespans, all ending the same way.
And then he died.
Exactly. It creates this amazing contrast.
So when we look at Enoch's very different path, what's the core message here? What really shines through for us today, especially compared to the others?
That's the big question, isn't it? For me, I think what stands out most is how it shifts our focus. It moves it away from just the length of a life to its quality, its depth. Enoch's story really suggests that a faithful walk, a consistent relationship with something bigger than ourselves, well, that can be far more significant than just counting the days.
So it wasn't the 365 years, it was the walking with God during those years.
That's what fundamentally sets him apart, I think. It sort of invites us, you, the listener, to think about what truly defines a life well lived. Is it just duration?
Yeah.
Or something more?
And it's not only about Enoch himself, is it? There's also this idea of legacy.
Definitely.
His faithfulness, his walk, it's remembered for generations. And his unique departure being taken, it points towards a kind of hope beyond the usual experience of death.
Yeah, it suggests a profound impact that resonates way beyond his actual time on Earth.
It really does.
His life becomes, in a way, a testament, maybe a pattern for a different kind of existence. And it does raise that question for us, doesn't it? How are we living our own lives?
Right.
Are we just sort of going through the motions, ticking off the days, or are we actively cultivating that close, purposeful connection to what we believe in, to our values, maybe to the divine? Enoch's story really suggests that the depth of that relationship, well, it can make all the difference.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Genesis 5, thinking about Enoch's remarkable story, what's the one thing that really stays with you?
For me, it really is that profound message that a life isn't just measured in years, but in maybe dedication, depth of connection. It challenges us, I think, to reflect on how we're truly living each day. What kind of legacy, what kind of quality are we building into the time we actually have?
That's powerful. And maybe I'll just add this for you, our listener, to think about. If walking faithfully means the consistent, intentional engagement with your core beliefs, your values, what small, everyday actions could you take? How could you deepen that walk in your own life? What might that look like for you personally, maybe starting today?
It's a good question to ponder.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the fascinating material that shapes how we see the world.